Hello, I'm Bobby Makepeace, a long-time sufferer of stage fright and forgetting my lines when I'm on stage. I am a trained actor, and even with this professional training and putting myself in these situations where I had to learn 3-hour-long shows, I still struggle with the fear of speaking in front of people before I go on to do it. And the number one thing that causes this for me is the fact that I don't want to get it wrong. I have a fear that I will be judged. I have a fear that if I get it wrong, I'm not going to belong or be accepted. So that innate feeling of not belonging because I get something wrong is what causes this stage fright. It's what causes this pain and anxiousness to come into my belly and my solar plexus. And the only way that I'm able to get over this is by paying attention to my breath. Because anxiety is of the future. It's worrying about something that's going to happen later on down the line. And if I'm too worried about the future, that means I'm not where? The present moment. And the present moment is where stage presence comes from. It's where presence comes from when you're speaking to your camera. It's where presence comes in where you're speaking to someone in person and you're not shouting at them, you're not carrying away, and you're not going over and above and beyond to be able to speak and communicate with them. So these fears of approaching girls that you find attractive, going up to someone to shake their hand and say hello at a networking event, putting yourself in front of a room of 100 or 500 or 1,000 people, it's all the same fears that come up, and it's the fear of not belonging. This is something that I've had to deal with for a very long time. When you go up and you speak on a stage about something, unless your lines are like what I had to do, which was Shakespeare, where you had to learn it word for word, because there are people in the audience who have been studying Shakespeare for years, and it's a 400-year-old story, and the language is 400 years old. You can't ad-lib or improvise with this. So you need to learn every single word immaculately, razor sharp. Now, luckily, in modern day and contemporary speaking, we're not speaking in a language that's 400 years old. But what I will attest it to is people who don't have English as a first language and then get up on stage and start to speak in their... And people get up on stage and start speaking in English, and it's not their first language. So there's that anxiety that comes that they're not going to be able to belong because their audience isn't going to understand them. Now, this is where getting into the present moment, working on your voice so that you're able to connect here and support yourself, because you don't have to worry about having an accent. It's about being understood, being able to shape your words effectively, being able to have clarity, being able to speak with excellent diction so that your words land. And that comes from voice training, that comes from articulation, that comes from thought-breath connection, which allows you to take the right amount of breath in so that you can get to the end of the sentence that you want to say. And you'll have enough air so you can play with going up here and going down here, depending on what you want to do. So, for myself, I've lost and forgotten my lines on stage. I've been in the situation where I am in a room where I'm surrounded by 100 people, and it's called theatre in the round. There's a table of 4 people, me is one of them, and we're sat and we're talking, we're doing our lines, we're doing our play that we're doing, and in the moment I forget my words and I don't know what the next step of the story is, and I freeze, and that pain comes in here, that fear, and it's a and notice how when we do that, we take a breath in, we go, and then we don't breathe again. And then we're stuck. And we're stuck in a tense version of ourselves, which is not in the present moment. It's gone, and it's gone to the future thinking, what's my next line? What's my next line? And then we freak out. And then we don't know what to do. And then we get more tense. And the anxiety just builds up, and we get into it, and then we're like, and then we freeze, because it's a fear response. It's our nervous system, fight, flight, fawn. What are we doing? We freeze. Or we just want to run away. We like, I've got to get off the stage now, I've got to get off the stage. And you run away. Or we fight and then we overcompensate and we don't resonate with our audience because we're going into them like this and we're being too forward and too pushy and too much. Because we're not where? In the present moment. And all of this stage fright comes from not being present, as I said earlier on. So how do we become present? Allow yourself the permission to give yourself to be able to fuck up, to fail, to get it wrong, to not have to worry about being word for word perfect on a contemporary script, and to be prepared before you put yourself in a situation where you know that this nervousness and anxiety is going to creep in. It's not natural to get up in front of 1,000 people and start speaking. However, it is trainable to get your body ready, to get your voice ready, to get your breathing right so that you can step in front of these people. And you create the best conditions for yourself in order to be able to deliver your message. You take a deep breath in. As soon as that fear comes in, you breathe into that part of the body where that is happening. And you just let it go. And for the most part, the audience won't even remember your mistake. The amount of times that I've messed up my lines, I've forgotten what I was going to say, I've been playing a song and I messed up a word and did the same chorus twice because I forgot what the actual chorus was. They come up to you at the end and they're like, oh my God, that was amazing, because they don't remember exactly what you're saying. They remember how you made them feel, right? They look at you and they're trying to take on all of this information. Not all of it is going to be learnt word for word. They're going to look at you and it's about the way you made them feel. They'll remember that and they will come up to you and go, oh my God, that was amazing. And that's because you're on your intention. You want to motivate, you want to inspire, you want to educate, you want to get into these people's faces and tell them a story because you want to bring them up with you. So whenever you start to feel that stage fright, find that area. Center yourself. Where is it? Here, here, here. Breathe. Start to breathe. Don't freeze up. Don't get tense. Breathe and let it go.